Alright, what you see here is a Hunter Embassy ceiling fan. Got this fan off of Facebook Marketplace, brand new in the box. However, with the blades you see on this fan right now are not the original blades to it. These blades are actually from my Hunter Passport from 1990. This fan came with just plain white blades on both sides, so I figured to make it look more interesting, I figured I might as well show off these light oak, or either they're light oak or pickled oak. I'm not 100% sure because they are a bit different from the pickled oak blades they'd use in the 1992 and going forward, but could have been an earlier version they had of it. With Hunter, you never know, since they'd always change the look of certain finishes and such over the years. But I figured since it's a white G event fan, I figured I might as well put some white wood-looking blades on it just to give it a different look. And honestly, I really do like how it looks, to be honest. Definitely gives it more of a contrast, which I really like on it. It's definitely a really nice finish. I do wish that Hunter kept using this finish for the white fans in the 90s. Instead of the pickled oak. This could be the earlier version, but I like this version of it a lot better. Looks more natural and compared to the other one that looks more just laminated on it, which it is, but this looks a lot more natural. And what's obviously interesting about this fan is that it has GE vents, which is what makes this fan very uncommon. It's a model that they sold in the late 80s, very, very early 90s. And there's the Hunter tag right there. I'm not sure how long they sold them for. I'm guessing 1991 was the last year they sold them. This is the last I've seen of them, I guess. Like, cause I don't remember seeing these in the catalogs from 1992 and searching beforehand. And the 1991 catalogs are I don't think they showed these in it. No, they didn't, because it was 1992 that they introduced the Infinity. That was like when they started doing the newer models and such. Or who knows? But the radio is going off. But I shut it off so it don't just fill up in the meantime. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting fan, and the fact that I got this fan brand new in the box was even better. Sour shipped it out to me around, I forget, I got it like around sometime in either October or November of 2019. But the only time I've ever seen these on YouTube was the one that Cole has in antique brass, which is what made me want to find one of these. I do want to find one in antique brass and also in bright brass, just because it's a G event fan, so it kind of makes me want to get one in each finish. Yeah. And something I do find interesting, in a way, it is basically a summer breeze, just with G events. The only difference is that the top of the housing is a little bit different. It's more like the Hunter custom home on the top side of it. And it does have the larger spinner motor that they'd use in their late 80s, early 90s, the 188 motor instead of the 172 15 motor that they'd use. But there are some 90s Hunter fans that had the 188 motor, like the Hunter Dimensions and some other ones. But yeah, the quality on this is definitely a bit more, the metal is a bit more solid, not a big difference, but the finish on it's definitely, especially in the wood blades, is more higher quality. It's more detailed and such. Yeah, let's go ahead and start off on the low speed. And then you might notice the lighting is a bit different. That is because I have been not using that light no more for testing, and I'm just relying on the lights behind me. The track lighting stand lamp. I noticed that light above was giving a lot of glare on certain fans. And also, this looks a lot better this way, too. But I am kind of surprised they didn't offer this with reversible blades. And I'm kind of surprised they didn't keep this model going into the 90s as a 5-blade model, because it definitely would have been interesting to see this as a 5-bladed model. Since some of the models from the the early 80s, they kind of made them into a 5-blade model, like the Summer Breeze, the Studio Series, the Passport, and I think a few others, but I'm not 100% sure. But it would have been interesting to see this. So maybe one of these days, if I find a Summer Breeze 52 inches in white, I'll just swap the vents on the bottom and just put on that just to see how it looks. But speaking of Summer Breeze, this fan does remind me a lot of those. The three of them that are at the Ace Hardware nearby me. The 5-bladed ones. Kind of definitely looks like something that you'd see in a hardware store. Or like a wood shop or something, especially the light oak blades. Or the light wood blades, I'm just going to call them that until I know exactly what these are. But I mean, it definitely has a nice low speed to it. The fan's pretty quiet. Definitely looking to put on a light on it just to see how it looks. Private schoolhouse. That's the classic go-to for me. G events with fans of schoolhouse. Now, I'm not sure if these were just a fan that were sold in exclusive stores, like Ace Hardware exclusive, for an example, because I do know some of the models back then were exclusive, or even today are exclusive to certain stores. Like Home Depot has their own Hunter models. So maybe in certain, it might have been like at a smaller retail store that wasn't that popular, so maybe that's why you don't see these as often. It's not too much known about these, so it's another reason why what makes these fans quite a bit hard to find and a bit interesting as well. All right, let me go ahead and move it up to medium. I do know that this isn't from Home Depot because I do remember that with like the passports, it would say Home Depot exclusive on it, so it's not that. Although it couldn't maybe not be an exclusive model at all and just wasn't shown in the catalogs much, who knows. But at the same time, I know maybe with some of the Menards fans on the Build a Square fans that like some of those fans on the boxes, from what I remember, they didn't say like Build a Square exclusive and such, so it might have depended on the store if they wanted to say it was an exclusive model for them or not on the box. But yeah, definitely moves nice breeze on medium. And just the light oak look to it with the G vents and white motor definitely looks. It's something I can see like in a beach house or something, a diner, seafood restaurant. It's definitely something I can see in a lot of spots, or like installations. Kind of be interesting to see it with filigree side vents as well, but I'm not gonna take it apart to do that. Maybe someday in the future, but at the same time, maybe it wouldn't. Yeah, it would fit it, but it'd be a bit much work. As there's still a ton of other fans I need to test those, so don't want to hold off the backlog any more than it already is. Yeah, let's go ahead and move it up to the high speed. Now, I'm not 100% sure if these fans ever came with reversible blades because I do know that the white 48-inch Summer Breeze I got from Brandon new in the box doesn't have reversible blades, but Mark has one, or that I don't know if he still has it, but he got one that was white as well, 48 inches. But his actually had reversible blades, so I found that a bit interesting. I do know some of the Hunter fans that were in white finish back in the day. Some of them had reversible blades, some didn't. Like with some breezes, sometimes you see them with reversible blades, sometimes you wouldn't. And it might depend on what store sold it came from. Maybe that could be why some of them didn't have reversible blades. But who knows? Hunter did a lot of strange things back then with finishes. But yeah, it's definitely a cool fan. It's nothing really major that makes it different from other Hunter fans, but the fact that it has G events is something you rarely see, so it's definitely unique in that factor. But yeah, definitely moves a great amount of air. If this wasn't such an uncommon fan, I wouldn't mind having this as a basement fan. If I was to put something here and that moves this amount of air, I'd probably do like a regular summer breeze or something. But I kind of don't like to have a 52-inch fan because it looks a bit big, and also it's kind of close to the shelf. Maybe one of these days I'll probably swap out the Mega Air as the basement fan and use something else. Alright, now for the spin down. But yeah, I mean, I've left it on for about an hour or two just to let the bearings break in a tiny bit and to see how it cools down in the basement. And I gotta say, it definitely does do a pretty good job. I mean, I'd probably, if I was to do a 52-inch fan, I'd rather have like a Farmington or something. Now, obviously, that's not as good as this, but I know that would do a good enough job. And it's something I wouldn't care about if it got beat up down here. Same thing goes for summer breezes, but for some reason, I haven't seen summer breezes popping up as much compared to like Passport 2s and such. Oh, even a Passport 2 I wouldn't mind putting down here, but well, not the one I had in my bedroom at the old place. Maybe like the white one that needs a new capacitor. But I don't know. I kind of rather use something that's a little bit newer, in a sense. I mean, the Mickey Air definitely does a good job, anyways, when it's down here. But I don't know. Maybe like if it was too hot in the summer, I'd use that more like for the winter. And or if anything, it's hotter down here in the winter than in the summer. So, but it's always kept it pretty cool down here, thankfully. And I do have the Monte Carlo in the corner now, the micro. So if I need something to move a little extra air around, I can just use that. Because that one's pretty quiet. Unlike the Ancon Petite in the front entrance, or just I don't really use when I'm down here testing. Alright, now for reverse flow. Alright, now go ahead and show it on medium. Alright, now on for the high speed. Definitely was quite a bit of a breeze on reverse. So obviously in the baseline I wouldn't need it on reverse. If anything, I would just push around the dust on the ceiling and the dirt. Alright, so that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more videos to come.